Here we have a new 2025 Toyota Corolla Hatchback. This one comes with the SE trim level and ice cap. We have ash cloth interior. Powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine mated to a continuously variable transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights. The lights don't dance like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But I really like the newer fascias on the Corollas. They just really look modern, sophisticated. Down here, these are going to be 16-inch alloy wheels. Passive keyless entry on the front. And then to the door panel, I love the two-tone here. We have the black and then the white there. That's a great look. Power mirror controls, rear window lock, power door lock controls, and then we do have one-touch up and down windows, all 4 doors, bottle holders here, and then we do have our automatic high beams that we can toggle on or off there. Hood release. And then we have our manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then to our driver's seat, this is going to be a 6-way manual seat. So we can pump the seat up or down. The seat back can be adjusted there. And then our seat bottom, we can move forward and back by pulling on that lever. But I want to give a huge thanks to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I have the seat back a bit, but that's about how I like to sit when I'm driving in a car like this. So, being 6'3", longer legs, sitting behind myself, that's about the space. They are not terrible. Seat back pockets are on both sides. You get 2 USB-C charge ports here, which is great. And there's a look at the front from back here. Now this middle seat folds down, bottle holders. Grab handle here, you can hang a shirt or pair of pants there if you need to. And then your child locks, lock, unlock there. Now for the gas cap, for those of you that like to have one that you can't just pop open with your hand, you do have to hit the latch on the inside for that. That'll take regular. And there's a look at the back end of the car. And a nice sporty look, specifically in this SE. I like that we have the black down there. It kind of gives it that two-tone look again with the white. Very sporty. And there's a look at the cargo space. Top tethers are integrated on the back of the seats themselves. I like that we have nice long side pockets right here. And then you can pull up this weather mat. And then you have access to the spare right in there. Now, as we come around to the rear passenger side, if you want to fold the seat down, push here, seats will fold flat. You can run longer objects through, lower anchors right behind these covers. And I like the two-tone kind of black and gray there. But now to the window sticker. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to if you want to take a closer look at anything, but all the standard features. Crash test ratings are fantastic. And then $25,829 is the suggested retail price. But front passenger seat is manual here. And then we do have a glove compartment down below with the owner's manuals. Now coming back around to the front, we're just gonna take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. And before we hop in the driver's seat, we're just gonna check out the blinkers. We do get them in the side mirrors, I love that. And then LEDs up front. A nice leather wrap steering wheel here. I like the feel of that. There's the horn. Now to the infotainment system, it pretty much, it's what you get here. The Experience Drive Connect if you want the cloud navigation. Audio sources, you can use AM, FM, XM, as well as Bluetooth, and you also have the Apple Music and Amazon Music apps. You get wireless CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. And then your settings here, you can change your language or units of measurement, Wi-Fi hotspot, your sound, and all of that there. Backup cameras here, we don't get any guidelines, or we don't get the guidelines that follow you. Just turn the steering wheel, you just have those still ones there. And then you can use the volume knob here, click that to turn the audio source off. Hazards. Down here below, we get our single zone automatic climate control, so we can adjust fan speed, temperature, turn the auto on there, cut the whole system off here. Then you even have the eco heat and cool if you want to use that. Little storage bay below here with a USB-C that connects directly to the radio, so you can have that plugged in, phone sitting right there. And then for the shifter, just hit the brake, pull on this lever, reverse, neutral, drive. You can come over here and get those simulated shifts. And then that bottom left-hand corner of the digital part of the gauge cluster, you can see what gear you're in right there. And then your traction control, you can toggle that here. Your drive modes are here. You get eco, normal, and sport. Bottle holders. You have your electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Automatic brake holds here. Now in the center console cubby space, you do get a 12 volt and another USB-C port for charging. There's a look at the back seat from up here. And then your lights. Vanity mirror, I'm glad we get an LED here. And then back to the steering wheel itself. Left side stalk, blinkers. Control your low beams here, set those to auto, daytime running lights off. Intermittent wipers are over here, one time off, intermittent low high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency here. And then with this one being a hatchback, you get the rear wiper as well. So intermittent on and then off. Push back for that rear fluid, pull up for the front. Now I also like that we have the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel as well. They're kind of hidden from view, but really cool, especially on this hatchback again. These 4 arrows will go through the middle part of the gauge cluster if you want to adjust anything there, including your settings. You can turn the eco on or off. There's a lot that you can really do there for it to have such a small footprint in the screen. Bluetooth, and then volume controls, voice recognition. This goes to the audio sources. These go through your track list or radio station presets. And then you also have your driving support controls here, so you can turn the cruise on there between adaptive and normal. Set the gap adjust for adaptive, set your speed, cancel, lane keeping system, and then when everything's activated, you can push this button and that'll activate the driving support system, which gives you the lane centering as well as the adaptive cruise. Push button start. Finally, here's our key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Corolla Hatchback SE out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Corolla Hatchback, it's a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. There's no turbo here, so it's not really pushing as much as you'd expect. But with the CVT, it actually allows it to get up to speed relatively quickly without having those shift points in this smaller engine. But you're getting 32 city, 41 highway here, no hybrid system. So overall, I think a pretty good car on paper. I also have it in the eco mode now too, so the pickup is not as good as it would be in normal or sport. But overall, very easy to drive. One of the reasons these sell so well is they're just simple. You can get behind the wheel, go, easy to maneuver, easy to park. Now, I want to try the paddle shifters out in the eco mode just to see. So these are simulated shifts because it is a CVT, and it's kind of fun because it feels so snappy when you downshift. But it also is kind of weird as well. I'm gonna put it back into the regular drive mode now, put it into normal, and kind of see how it would drive on a regular basis. So that's a lot peppier than it was in Eco. And I was just giving it a little throttle off the line. Now, I don't know if you can hear it through the camera. There's just a slight rattle coming from up here somewhere. I don't know what it is. Could be like a piece of grass stuck or something, but other than that, it's pretty quiet in here. And in terms of the visibility, I cannot see the hood at all. So that's a plus, depending on who you are. I like being able to see the hood. I feel like I'm just driving without a hood. But it's nice that you can see everything in front of you. You're not getting distracted by the vehicle itself. And then even the screen, it's up, so it's kind of like big, but where the screen's so small, I like that they did that. It makes it easier to reach everything. It's still in your line of sight. If you do have to look away to hit a button or whatever, you can still see the road ahead of you. But interior wise, I like how they did the white on black with this spec here. It does make it seem a bit more premium, a bit more sporty, as opposed to just all this being black. And it's also fun to use the paddle shifters at the, the drop of your hand. And you can kind of get that going for a minute, and then it'll cut off by itself when you stop shifting. But especially if you're just wanting to pass somebody while you're in the normal drive mode, or while you're in the normal drive instead of the manual mode, it's nice to be able to, drop a few gears to do that. Gears, I mean. But for under 26 grand, I think this is pretty solid for what you get. I mean, the infotainment system looks nice. Everything feels relatively sporty. And it doesn't feel cheap like you might think in an L or an LE or something like that. This SC, even though it's nothing fancy, it still feels premium, if that makes sense. But I want to give a huge thanks to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. We're gonna put her in a sport, manual. Here we go. Yeah, this car is actually really fun. And it's crazy, you actually get 10 different, I guess, shift points, if that makes sense. I thought you'd only have 8, but I mean, I think that's pretty impressive. We're gonna activate the driving support system. but it's pretty quiet in here. I like that we have a nice ride here. There's nothing to it. I mean, the driving support system is doing this thing with the lane centering, adaptive cruise. It's a simple car, but it's one of those, if you like these, you will not be disappointed owning these for years to come. That's just my opinion. And honestly, for this to be a hatchback, it's a car. Lots of space, lots of usability here. And it just, it gets the job done, man. You're getting 41 miles per gallon on the highway, which is fantastic. You have the driving support system, which is good. That Safety Sense 3.0. And then just having the updated infotainment system. And that's why the Corolla is still around. It's probably like one of the last small four-door cars other than the Nissan Versa. You have a few others as well, but that's the main competitor that I see in this area. And I think for 26 grand, you get a very nicely equipped car that can do a lot for you. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Toyota Corolla Hatchback in the SC trim level.